live without my cup of tea, guys. Be right with you. Good morning, scrappers, scrapettes, planet lovers, recyclers, friends of the channel, students of e-scrap recycling, and everybody else. Oh, your old buddy Scrappy D here with a regular Sunday morning live. I was on last night, which was nice. It was nice to get an extra video in. I really do enjoy the lives, especially with so many of our regular subscribers, and it's fun. Well, let's see. Status update. I think I'm still trying to dry out from yesterday. I slept like a corpse last night. I didn't budge for anything. I almost didn't get up in time to do the live today. Hi, Jacob. Welcome. So, today, and again, I apologize for the redundancy, but I sold 2 more bags of this last night, so the first thing I have to do is get those orders filled. I'm going to try to get to the scrapyard tomorrow, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to be going after the copper in these. I'll have to go down and clean them later. My yard looks like the Amazon jungle from all the rain we had. Oh my Lanta. And it's covered in clover. The clover season has come. So we have a lot of clover in the yard, which I really hate to cut because the bees really like the little purple flowers. And got a lot of that out there. My dad used to say, leave the clover alone, it sweetens the lawn up a bit. Yeah. He's not the one who's got to go out and cut it. So on my table, I have a couple of these that we've been working on together. I think a good topic for this morning might be finding resale in e-scrap. So I thought I would just, even though it's the same material that I'm scrapping, because I have 200 and something of these to get through, I thought it might be a good idea to do that today. And what I'm going to do is like a cost analysis, and I don't know when I'll get it finished. I will measure out what's inside of these and what we got for value, and then kind of do like a spreadsheet of the whole thing to show what we got. Alright, so I'm going to do one of these, and then I've got those IBM blade modules sitting over there. I've got 4 or 5 of those. Thank you, King BX. Appreciate that very much. You're so kind. I'll tell you, I've already gone more viral than I ever thought I would. I never would have expected to reach the number of subscribers I already have. But you're very kind. Dennis, welcome. Kimbo, welcome. As I said, this is early even for me, but so let's get at it. These pins are going to come out of here. Let me just move over a little bit, I guess. You'll have to excuse the disaster behind me. Most of you know we had a big flood on Mother's Day weekend. And my entire bottom cabinets have completely... I had to pull them because they got wet and moldy. So I have no cabinet space at the moment. The gentleman did come out and measure. Hopefully Monday. We've got a design plan in. And I'll be getting the kitchen redone. I don't know how I'm going to function with that. my patio awning was supposed to come in. I have a new awning coming in. I figured, well, that'll be all right. It's summer. I can work outside. I love being outside anyway. They can fix the kitchen, and I'll go outside. That's back ordered. So, it is what it is. We'll get through. It's safe. I got rid of the mold. There's nothing moldy, but I've just got a catastrophe in the back, and I can't do anything about it. So, bear with me. You get to watch my kitchen being remodeled. Isn't that fun? So, the feedback I got from people who bought these was the gold pins were of very good quality. This board is from 2011. There's one other thing that I do want to do. Good morning, Roy Hayes. How are you today? Dennis, good morning. Kevin, good morning. Pancho Camacho, welcome. Good morning. I'm trying to get I'm not awake yet, guys. So, we'll have the kitchen under construction. I'm in the meantime trying to get the workshop moved downstairs. I know it's going to impact my my channel and stuff. So, a couple things that have been going on in the world of e-scrap and board buying and grading of circuit boards. I will get a video up maybe tomorrow if I have enough boards to show you. For those of you who don't know, or those of you who do actually, the biggest name here in America in board buying is BoardSort. They are really very well deserving of that title. I've never met a more ethical, honest, or educational company. And they were really first to the table with online board buying, and they've made a huge business out of it. So what happens is now when people are looking to price things is everybody looks at what's BoardSort doing, and it creates a ripple effect. So I have 1, 2, 3 buyers who I work with. And that was what everybody said. Hold on, we have to regrade all the boards, and we have to update everything. We can't buy any e-script till we get caught up here, blah, blah, blah. And that's what they're doing. Picture 2020, welcome. Intriguing video. AIG, owner of the earth. Who's your daddy? Welcome. If I miss your comment or a message and you are in need of information about something, please message me. I do read my messages. All right. So, board grading has changed. There's been a lot of discussion on all of the e-scrap channels this week. Shark Scrapper reposted the new video that's out by BoardSort. A lot of these guys are on YouTube as well. They may not be on TikTok. They might be on YouTube. I'm on both because I like to redo my lives, but I can't put them on TikTok if they're only an hour. If they're over an hour, I have to put them on YouTube. So, hi, Phil's Gold. How are you? So, Phil's Gold is a very awesome gold guy. He's over in the Philippines. One of the nicest people I speak with on my channel. And I do enjoy their videos very, very much. So, they've changed all of the board grading. And it's going to be a trickle-down effect till everybody figures out exactly what's going on. Basically what's happening, because older e-scrap pre-2020, and I've been working with a local refiner, and this discussion has been ongoing even before BoardSort adjusted their pricing. Boards made before 2020 are much better for gold content, recycling, refining. It all has to do with the precious metal in the board. As the boards have progressed, they use less and less gold because it got more and more expensive. And what's happened is now there's a lot more plastic in the boards. So the buyer is not going to be able to pay the same for a board like this made in 2011 as opposed to a board made in 2025. There's just not gold recovery value. And he did it, Chris at BoardSort put a video together too. You can go look at BoardSort. I'm sure the video is up, boardsort.com. And he's going to go through the entire evolution of the board grading and explain why they have changed it. I personally am glad, because nothing makes me nothing irritates me more than sending a good high quality board and getting paid less money from it just because it falls into a certain category. Like this. Under the old system, this would have graded as what's called an AMD board. Flat, gold chip. CPU that looks something like this. I probably... See the gold on this one, by the way? Look at that. So this would sit on here in some type of a socket. The board's characteristic would have been AMD board. Well, AMD, to me, would not have been an acceptable category for these boards, and I held on to them, and I'm really glad I did. So, with this reevaluation, and also with me making some pictures and sending it to BoardSort, they've upgraded this board to a Telecom board. Telecom is the highest quality board. Why? Well, number one, because I asked. Number two, it's loaded with stuff. Absolutely loaded. I'll clean this off, and there's recovery here. So, everybody's kind of in this transition with boards right now. More than anything, it'll affect your older boards, which will grade better. Your newer boards are going to grade less. It's just almost simple as that. So that's going on in the wonderful world. Hello, Mark. Thank you. Thank you for the gifts, guys. Appreciate that. Very kind of you. I hope I'm not getting a cold. I got soaked yesterday. Oh, my God. I still feel like I haven't dried out completely. And we have no hot water in the house right now. Out of an abundance of precaution until I get the contractor in here to check, I had the gas disconnected, and so I have no hot water, which means I have no heat. I have cold water. The tap is running okay. I'm just using the stove, to heat up water to bathe and clean up and garbage like that. I feel like I'm camping. Oh, geez. Yeah. It's alright. The house is safe. But those of you who follow me know I've been working on the kitchen. I've been sanding and painting, and I redid all my cabinets. Now we had a flood, and I just wasted all that effort. It's okay. I can't wait till it's done, and I can show you how pretty it's going to be. I finished the design, and we got the design put together. Now I just have to figure out the financing. I just bought the house in February. But we'll get there, So anyway, that is going on in the world of board buying. And everybody is going to follow whatever BoardSort does because they are the absolute leader in the field. What they do, everybody else is going to do. You go to sell boards, every single one of us checks and sees what is BoardSort selling these boards for or these components for. And that's how we base our pricing, myself included. It's like the encyclopedia of e-scrap. So, anywho. And there's a lot of things that I sell that they don't necessarily sell. I have to figure my pricing myself, and that's just research. All right. So, in front of me right now, I have an IBM memory module. I have 250 of these little sweethearts to process. But I'm only going to do a couple this morning because I've been doing a lot of them on the channel, and I don't like to repeat stuff. I've got these. Hang on, Shadow. That's actually part of what I'm addressing in this video, and over the next couple of minutes, I think I'll be able to answer that for you. Shadow wants to know, where do we get clean gold fingers from? Come on, everybody, chime in. Help Shadow out with this one. mostly Ram Shadow, and Gold Finger cards. I have some here. When I pull the next one of these apart, I'll show you what they look like. Where was I? Oh, so as I've been working on these, I've found this. If you see something that looks like this is what a backplane board looks like. Backplane boards look like this, or they go in with like backplane boards. Something gold plugs into something gold. In this case, it's where the module slides into the cabinet. Always look at the bottom. Look what's underneath this. See, there's lots of gold. Under those chips, there's gold. Under the CPU, there's gold. That means there's gold-bearing material soldered to the board. Yes, sir, Phil. I did very well with this. Basically, what it came down to, I'm very blessed. There's a large IT warehouse not too far from me. And he called me. He said, Dee, do you need material? I said, I always need material. He said, look, I've got these pallets. I've got all the school stuff coming in. I have got to make space. Bring your checkbook and come shopping. And, yeah, he gave me a really, what I think was a very fair deal on these. He made some space, he made some money, and, what did you buy from eBay, Mark? Oh, you mean, you're answering the question, where do we get Goldfinger cards from? Yes. Good morning, Do Right, how are you? So anyway, this would be a shame. Not that I don't love my buyer. I do. But, no, I don't love him, but I like him very much. He's a good guy. One of the best tools you can have as a scrapper are flush pliers. Yes, Phil's Gold said probably most of that will be a full gold board underneath the green masking. And you're right, Phil. Look at the gold on this. This board is from 2011. That's Phil's Gold chiming in on the chat. Great channel to watch, guys, if you're interested in all things gold recovery. Good channel to watch. Shout out to Phil's Gold. Yeah. As my friend Obi-Wan Kenobi likes to say, the older the golder. And good morning, Jeremiah. Alright, come on, hands, don't fail me this morning. Some mornings my hands are not as good. But we're gonna get this out. Were you guys, any of you guys on the chat the other day when the dentist chimed in and said he wanted to come over and help me pull these because it was like pulling teeth, but it didn't hurt as much? It was hilarious. I have no idea who he was. I don't remember. It was funny. So, again, this, if I fill this, that's going to be a 5-pound bag, and I sold those for 25 bucks on eBay. I've already sold out twice, so this bag is actually spoken for already. That's why I'm doing these this morning, because I want to get this order ready. 4:50 a.m., way too early for me. You're not kidding. It's almost 8 o'clock here. I got up early. I slept through the night. I slept like a rock after chasing the kids around in the rain yesterday. I was at a party for my nephew's 3-year-old. Nothing like a kid's party at 65. Oh my God, they're so cute. You know, they're so enthusiastic and so full of fun, and life is just good when you're 3 years old. Unless it rains on your birthday party. But we didn't have he didn't have the pool open. It was really just not suitable to use the pool, but he did have the splash pad up. And of course, the kids are all in the splash pad. They don't care. They're wet anyway. Well, then the heavens opened up. And, well, of course, of all of us adults hear the thunder. The kids don't give two wits about it. So, you know, imagine hauling a bunch of soaking, wet, screaming, I don't want to go in 3-year-olds off the splash pad. Oh, my God. I mean, I just look at my nephew and his family. We just cracked up. We're just all standing out there in the pouring rain, pulling in 3-year-olds off the splash pad. They don't understand about thunder and that it's dangerous and you can't be on the splash pad in the rain. What's everybody doing this weekend? Well, the sun is out. I'm hoping my lawn gets dry enough that I can get the grass cut. It's going to be a yard work day for me. Tomorrow the contractor is, I hope, coming in and finalizing what we're going to do with the kitchen. And hopefully order the stuff I need. These are ridiculously easy to recover, guys. There's gold here, and there's gold here. This should be a fairly high quality gold pin. It's certainly at least mostly gold, if not all, but I think that's good for gold recovery. 2011. Gold is one of the best conductors of data and electricity. And copper is very good for electronics, heat resistance, things like that. But copper and gold, the prices have just gotten much higher. So what's happening is now they're using cheaper components in the boards. And that's why all the boards are being downgraded in price that are older. And I'm going to have to do the same. I can't buy these boards at the prices that are posted. Good morning, Biaggi. Brand Newman, Jake, welcome. Yeah, this is actually even early for me. I usually start my live at 8 o'clock, but like I said, I have a lot to do. That's in a good way. I want to get these bags filled because I want to get these orders out. I do have a load of these ready to go out to board sort. I'll get those weighed and paid. Well, I got them weighed. I won't get paid for 2 weeks, but that sometimes you can get these the easy way. Sometimes these just pop right off. Sometimes not. See that? Just like that. It's like making $25 an hour. I'll do that all day, every day. Hi, Parker. Well, I'm up to scrapping IBM memory modules and hopefully getting into some discussion about things that you can pop off these for resale. Hopefully, if I get that far today. I've got a lot of e-scrap orders I got to fill them. So I sold out a RAM, and hopefully I can find some more. I don't like to post things before it's in my hand and in the box and weighed. And then I sold this bag last night, and I've got a request for 2 more of them, but I don't know if I can fill it, so I haven't processed them yet. But as soon as I do, I will email those people and let them know, yes, it's available, and I'll invoice by PayPal or some such thing. But this, I sold out of this. As soon as I posted the video about these, last Sunday I think it was, wiped out, sold out of every bit of it I had. So, I don't know how much waste is on here. I don't think a lot. I'm not strong enough to break it apart. Oh, there we go. Wait, maybe I can. Yeah, that's. I'm not sure what's inside. Could be copper. Could be gold. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah. So, probably brass would be my guess. Gold heyday on these particular pins that come from these IBM memory modules. I've been selling a 5-pound bag like this for $24.99. That's the other thing I really like about having the channel. I don't have to worry about misrepresenting something, because if somebody's interested in something we are reselling, you've got a close-up and personal look at it. So that's pretty cool. I have some other gold pins for sale, but I don't have enough yet. All right, so this is as far as I will process this board. It's going to go as telecom high because of the large number of gold components. It's got good chips. The gold in the memory slots is amazing. There's gold here. So my buyer is going to purchase this from me and as a high-grade telecom board because of the amount of gold in it. That doesn't always happen, guys. But I wrote him and I asked him. I said, I can't sell this as an AMD motherboard. It's just not cost effective. All right, I'm going to hold off on this for a minute. As you see, I got a whole bunch of these, and I have 200 more of these to do, so I will have plenty of bags. Scrooge McDuck, good morning. Thank you, Parker. I've been doing this for a while, and I started doing e-scrap when I needed to be home taking care of my mom. I couldn't run my music studio because Mommy was sick and needed full-time care. So I had to work from home. And how I discovered e-scrapping, I'll never know. It started because of my obsession with vintage computers, buying, selling, fixing, trading. One thing led to another, and the next thing I know, I had an e-scrap business. But it was pretty cool because it was really kind of on the cutting edge because it was like 5 years ago. And I helped my local scrapyard. I helped them build up an e-scrap department. It started because I watched the stock market like so many of you do. By the way, both Phil Scholes and Scrooge McDuck, this question is for you. What's your opinion about this CPU? It's from 2011. It's not pinned, but it looks to me to be extremely high in gold-bearing material. It's from one of these IBM modules. I'm hanging on to these. I'm not going to sell them just as scrap. I would love to send one of these to somebody who's really good at gold refining and gold recovery and have one of you analyze it for me and tell me if they're really worth anything or if you already know. So IBM memory module. Let me get a number off of this. I don't want to get thermal paste on my fingers here. Hold on a second. Good morning, Larry. Gold from the plating would be worth at most a couple of dollars. Even on a chip this old. Wow, I'm afraid that's the news I'm going to get on these. How about if I had 250 of them? Good morning. They are pinless, which was my main concern, but it just seemed to be a much higher, much brighter gold. And then the actual, this was what I couldn't figure out. This is actually pinned. So the contact points are pinned here, but not pinned here. I don't know. It's a bit of an enigma. I'll be interested on these. $2 a chip. Well, I have 200 of them. There's $400 in my pocket. I wouldn't mind that too much. I think I'm going to put a couple of them up for sale. Just really more because I'd like to try to find out more about those. So even a chip from 2011, as I feared, sounds like it'll sell for nothing more than scrap. I was hoping these older ones would do a little better. The pinless CPUs that you find in your iSeries, your Hewlett-Packards, your Dell, yeah, those are worthless for gold recovery. They don't sell. I don't have one here to show you. I wish I did. That's a topic for another video. Those, as a matter of fact, I just sent 10 pounds of those to Board Sort. The pinless CPUs. The ceramic back pins with the CPUs with the gold pins on them, those are the best for your gold recovery. And yeah, thank you guys, that was very helpful. Processed CPU chips, it was very good gold. Sadly, more of a something. Okay, well, thank you for the input, guys. That was why I asked. My knowledge is not good about like gold refining. That's not my ballywick, so to speak. All right, I'm going to put this aside. More for your safety, Brian. I know you guys must be sick of these IBM blade servers. IBM memory modules. I'm sorry about that. I really am. So this board's ready to be sold. Ouch. Off to board switch. She'll go with her friends. This one, I did one last night just to take a look at them. Morning, Steve. Good morning, Scrooge McDuck. Hey, what do you think? I didn't see your opinion go by about those chips, the memory chips. Scrooge McDuck does a lot with this kind of stuff. These are from 2011, and they're IBM power module chips. See, this is all copper back here. And they're not pinned, which is what kills the gold recovery. I don't know, man. That looks like really pure, clean gold. I guess it's wishful thinking, huh? Well, scrappy knees. Just wishful thinking here, I think. How long have I been doing this for? Well, TikTok and YouTube since January, believe it or not. I started the YouTube channel a while ago, and I really did it just to help educate people about e-scrap, because I'm at the scrapyard and I see people just chucking value into the light iron pile, and then I know other people who just went out, they go randomly just buy an e-scrap and they get burned. So by doing some of these, actually I think I found out last night I don't have to unscrew those. Hang on. I started just showing people how to tear things down, and I didn't really think it was going to go anywhere. But the YouTube channel started taking off pretty good. And then all of them in their 30 niece and nephews started in October. Yeah, unfortunately my my voice is a little bit distinct. I have only one vocal cord that works, so it tends to be a little bit annoying. But my family decided, okay, Auntie, the heck with YouTube. I like YouTube. Nope, we're going to put you on TikTok. I am not going on TikTok. That is for younger people than me. No. Well, I'm really glad they convinced me to do it. I came in one day. The kitchen looked even worse than it does now. And my nephew Will had a broken Xbox. He says, can you get that apart? And I said, sure. So he says, okay, and I'm going to video you and you're going live. I'm like, I am not. My hair is a mess. My kitchen is a mess. I'm not prepared. Da. Well, we did it. My two nephews, William and Matthew, convinced me to do it. They didn't convince me. They twisted my arm into it. And the rest is history. I had never taken an Xbox apart. I knew I could, but... So William was my publicity agent for a while. He helped me with the hashtags and a bunch of other stuff. And so on and so forth. I think over the week what I'm going to do is... I have a lot of you guys who do buy e-scrap from me. And maybe I can send one or two of these chips over to you guys. And... see what you can find. I just hate to sell those as scrap. They're too pretty. No, the Xbox was not really difficult. It was an older Xbox. The board was very good for gold recovery. It was a good board. I shouldn't really say for gold recovery. It was a good board for resale because it has a lot of gold recovery. I don't do gold refining. I sell it to people like you guys who do. Phil. I think it's a fine processor too, but I don't really quite know what to do with it. It's flashed. It's not. It doesn't have pins. I don't know. We'll find out together, though. That'll be something fun to explore on the channel. What do you say? So this is an IBM blade module. This also is very old. I haven't found a year yet. I know these are 2011. And let's see if we can find a date on here. In the pictures, when I found the pictures of this and I considered purchasing it, there were a lot of things I looked for. I looked for value. I looked for the hard drives. I looked for the chips. Gotta get the battery off, guys. That's important. This was a good purchase. I'm just looking for the date. I'm always looking for a date. I'll be here all week. Thank you very much. This is a capacitor. It's not a battery. Yeah, I agree, Scrooge McDuck, and I'd love to send this to somebody who does gold refining and, have somebody take a really close look at it. I'm going to have 200 of them by the time I'm done, so there's just some things you just don't throw as scrap. I don't have to get rid of anything, which is good. I can take my time and think about it. All right, so again, I got to find out a year for you. This is also an IBM product. It's a blade server. So there'll be gold recovery here and here because that's where the backplane board, that's where it plugs into the backplane board. So I should have gold recovery here. I should have some good pins here. And there's a lot of chips on the board. I'm going to request high-grade telecom on this as well. I don't know if I'm going to get it because there may be dead space under these hard drives. And I certainly would not make an unreasonable request out of it to my buyer. This is good. There's chips. It's not dead space. This is aluminum, so we'll get some aluminum there. Check this out. Hard drives, great source of boards. These are beautiful boards. The older the hard drive, the better the board. This is probably a SATA low grade. The non-SATAs would have very clear, visible gold pins, 48 of them, to do that. I will break these down. I'm under no obligation to destroy them. I didn't have to sign a certificate of destruction or anything. So hard drives, I break down, I sell the boards, and then I have the bodies that get shredded. Not, shredded, but... Thank you, I'll be here all week. Ma'am, what am I doing? I am dismantling and recycling non-working computer technology. These are blade servers, and I am taking them apart and showing where there may be gold recovery for resale. Hey, Homie Kenobi, how are you? I don't know if you caught any part of the discussion we were just having. And the discussion was about these. These are from 2011 IBM blade servers. And we were talking about the potential, are they worth it for gold recovery? It's flashed, it's not pinned, but the receiving socket for this is pinned. But look at the color of the gold. Do you think it just goes in with pinless CPUs, or is there more value possibly to this? It's from 2011. It's from an IBM memory module. Are the magnets worth anything to a scrapper? Oh my gosh, yeah. The magnets out of hard drives, we all have them stuck all over our trucks. Oh yeah. You gotta be careful though, because the magnets in here are super strong. They can really hurt you. They're neodymium. Let's see if TikTok blocks me. Are you kidding me? Good morning. They have twice as much as the smaller pinless. Now, Obi-Wan Kenobi does a lot of gold refining, guys, so there's been several people here who've really provided me some information. I'm holding on to them, by the way. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them yet. It's nice when you don't have to rush to sell something or get rid of something, when you can take the time and hold it instead of just running off to the scrapyard or running off to the refiner. I mean, I've now gotten to the point where I have a lot of stuff that I'm holding. I wish I could hold these boards. Somebody else asked how I got started in all this. And back when I did start on this, and some of you have heard me say this before, it started because I was home taking care of my mom and needed something I could do from home. Plus, we were dealing with COVID. I didn't want to be out and about because I didn't want to bring it back to her. So I was able to buy, sell, and I could ship it all. I could stay home and not have to worry about bringing a sickness back to the house. So, hi Patrick. Yeah, there are people who sell these magnets on eBay. So, my thought when I got into all this e-scrap was, where are they going to get the materials for all these AI chips? NVIDIA, AMD, everybody who is now jumping on the AI wagon. I bought NVIDIA when it first came out, and I paid off all my student loans by selling NVIDIA stock. I paid off all my debt. But I kept saying, there's only so much gold, there's only so much copper. And where are they going to get the materials from this? And it became my opinion that they're going to get it from e-scrap, from recycling the boards. And that has proved true. So if you can get your mitts on some older boards, yeah, they're worth it. Some of you who have been following, and I think, Patrick, I saw you have a comment up on Phil's Gold has just chimed in with a comment here that I want to try to repeat about these pinless CPUs we've been talking about. If it's pins, it's an LGA CPU which has good gold recovery. Sorry, excuse me. If no pins, it's an LGA CPU of IBM. Then it has good gold recovery. That's made in 2011. It's got to be better than the crap they're making now. The i-series, they dumped those boards down to squat. And understandably so, they're mostly plastic. So, yeah, I hang on to these. I started hanging on to the older boards. As I said, back in the day, my first computer, you ready for this? It was a Commodore 64. So, I was a child of the Apple age. I had an old Mac. I had a purple one. I had a blue one. That wasn't blue. It was like a turquoise. I had the one that used to come in the blue pack. There was a blue canvas bag. The monitor was here. The computer was here. I grew up with that stuff. Those are the computers we had. And I was watching... oh my God, who the heck was I watching last night? I don't remember. But he did a very comprehensive breakdown about old computers and old boards. And basically, don't throw that away. It's worth a lot of money. I wish I could remember who it was. I'll have to check that. Yeah, I did my master's thesis on the Commodore 64 with the Penguin MMX. Oh my God. Oh, my Commodore. That's hilarious. Did I have the Apple first? No, I had the Commodore first, and then my mother bought stock in Apple. That's what it was. She thought Steve Jobs was not a nice man. We all know that. But he was brilliant. I mean, can you imagine the world without Apple? I mean, really. Even right now, I'm sitting here on my Apple iPhone talking to people from all over the world. Now, how cool is that? I mean, but the man was an absolute visionary. And, yeah, I don't mean to jump around. Just sometimes I stop. I see a question that I have to answer. Yeah. Hey, do you guys remember the first Atari that came out? What was your first video game? Mine was Began with a P and end with the G, and it has 4 letters. Everybody in, come on. There's Ping and there's... Come on, you know what it is. You know, you can admit it. You played it. Come on, I know you did. Pong, there you go, Pong. Oh my God. Here's another story for you. I get this all the time. I'm here for the jokes and I'm here for the stories. I love to tell stories. I actually was at one point in my career a storyteller. I played the guitar, I taught music, and I used to travel around and tell stories. There was a club here called the Black Rock Castle, and oh my God, I loved it. I was heartbroken when it cried. They used to have, they used to bring your instruments and you'd just sit and, sing. And every Thursday, Dee the Balladeer was there. Obviously, their niche was Irish folk music. I actually learned how to play the hammered dulcimer from somebody who was in that group. And but I come up with stories about everything and anything. I don't know where I got it from, but I did. So back to storytelling. I guess that's where I was heading with this. My mom, who would have, I don't even think the kids were born yet. My niece and my nephews, her grandchildren. I don't ever remember them playing with the Atari. By the time they came along, I probably had the Atari hidden. But the other game that was really popular was Space Invaders. And my mother, who was probably somewhere in her 60s at the time, got addicted to Space Invaders. I'd go down. She'd be down in front of the damn TV playing the Atari, playing Space Invaders. She got a video game thumb out of the deal. Yes, Atari 400. I remember that. Oh my God, good times. I even remember going to an arcade and paying quarters to play games. That's how old I am. That was on the video last night, and I can't remember who it was. It wasn't Okie. It was Oldie Goldie or something. It was a YouTube channel about don't throw away those vintage boards. He pulled boards out of video games. Oh, man. Drool for the gold in those boards, let me tell you. It was a great video. And, he was just saying, check your pallets of E-scrap. Check your stuff. Don't throw these away because they're worth reselling. And he got into the Commodore discussion, the Apple discussion, and then, of course, the video game discussion. It was really a great video. If I can find it, I'll reference it. It isn't somebody I regularly follow, so but I am going to now. It was really it was a great video, fantastic. And I just sat there. It was like nostalgia in memory lane. His story was very similar to mine. He got into vintage computers and vintage gaming and buying and selling and trading, but he can fix them all. I don't fix them. Now I resell them because I don't have the time and the space. So yeah, I never really played games on my Commodore though. Having quarters was like having a pocket of gold, wasn't it, Dennis? Oh my God. Those were the days. Those were fun. That was fun. I loved going to the arcade. Like everything else. It goes with the times. It's going. Now we all just stay home and play them. This is being a stink biscuit to get out today. I don't know why. You gotta watch these too. Sometimes they're on a spring, and you don't want to have that pop off and get you right in the kisser. That was a fun conversation, guys. That was awesome. I remember one day we had, of course, graduated. Now my next gaming system was a Nintendo 64. That had to be my favorite gaming system out of everything we had. And of course my brother had children by that time, and that whole generation was always over here. They lived around the corner. So they were always visiting, Grandma's house and Auntie Dee's house. And it was good times. But I bought a Nintendo 64. And of course it had Space Invaders on it. I was just a naughty little girl. And there was a movie that had just come out, and one of the key lines in it was "Up yours, blue boy." There was the bad person who had stole this kid's script. Everybody went after the bad person because he stole this little boy's script, and he sold it, made lots of money, and the kid got really screwed, and a bunch of people got really mad at this guy, and so the kids decided to get back at him by doing all kinds of terrible things, putting blue dye into his hair care products. So he turned blue, like a Smurf. And one of the scenes in the movie was, "Up yours, blue boy." This old lady just goes, "Up yours, blue boy," because he thought he was soaking wet. He was blue. He was in her pool, and da-da-da-da-da-da. The little William, my darling little sweet 4-year-old nephew, I did not take them to see that particular movie because at that time that language was a no-no for children. So the boss in the Star Wars, what the hell was it? I just said it too. Space Invaders, Star Wars. The thing in the Space Invaders movie was this big blue monster. So little William goes to the top of his, he shouldn't have, "Up yours, blue boy." Cripe, I thought my mother was going to have a holy stroke right then and there. Of course, I had to leave the room because I was laughing my ass off and I didn't want to encourage his bad behavior. So, Mother took away our Nintendo. She punished us. It was funny. Anyway, how the hell did I get from scrapping computers to nostalgia? Those were the days, guys, weren't they? Yeah, the Sega Genesis. I did not care for the Sega as much as I liked the Atari. I think Nintendo was the best gaming system back then. Anyway, I completely and totally have digressed. Back to my IBM. Yes, Cyclone, thank you for pulling me back. Yeah, you're not kidding, Dennis. Today's arcades are terrible. Actually, even when the kids were growing up, we would go to FYE rather, for your entertainment. Chuck E. Cheese had a lot of video games. They enjoyed those things, but I haven't had a gaming system in the house for a long time. Anyway, so this, I haven't gotten a year out of it yet. I'm looking for it. I do know it's old. How do I know it's old? Because of the quality of the gold board. Look at this board. This is going to grade as a telecom high with no question whatsoever either. Once I clean it off. All right, enough video game talk. Back to scrapping, Miss D. Look at this. They call these half ram sticks. This is an old, vintage, chunky, gold-filled ram stick. I am going to keep these separately. I'll sell them by a lot when I get them all. These I probably will auction these because I think they're of excellent quality. And RAM right now is $34.50 a change. It went up $2 last week per pound. I've been selling it for $40 a pound and getting it without any question whatsoever. But again, it's high-grade, chunky server RAM, not this cheap crap that you find in current computers. All right. Yes, Joshua, good morning to you. By the way, guys, thank you for all the really great comments. That's why I like the live so much. That was a great discussion about these. Sorry I got onto the old video games. It was just because of that video last night, and we were talking about old gold boards. That was how that came about. I was not being random. Yeah, hi, Dust. How are you? Yeah, I know. I've showed my face again, and here come the Granny Scrapper comments. Oh, boy. You know what my mother used to say to me? Most girls knit. And I said to her, but Mother dearest, you know I'm just not like most girls. Hell, I'm 65 and I drive a big red pickup truck. I don't feel my age, and I have my niece and nephews to thank for that. And now hopefully they're children. I hope I get to spend more time with the littles now that, I don't have Mom to take care of anymore. I miss her, but, now I've got some time to do the things I want to do. So the music store has a for lease sign on it. I hope I can get somebody to come in and take over the rest of my lease. I'm going to now have to spend the next year renovating the house. What's deadly? Oh, I'm proud of you. Thank you. I'm proud of me. I'm not proud of me, but I'm you know, it's taken me really a while to get to this point. You know, most of you know I lost my mom a year ago in December. 2 years. It'll be 2 years now, and I just, you know, having to get my whole life put back together and back on track took me a while. I am doing better. This flood in the house has completely moved along my plans. I have been working on the outside on my gardens. I wanted to get the gardens done. I wanted to get the outside done. I wanted to get I got a sunsetter retractable awning because I live outside. And my goal this year was the outside and then to start the inside in the fall. However, that's why the back sink looks like it does. I had a flood on Mother's Day weekend. My sink overfloweth. And the cabinets, there's nothing inside the cabinets. I had to pull all the plywood out because I didn't want it to rot. And my sink has no room, so that's why the counter looks like it does. I just finished painting all this too. And, you know, it is what it is. So we'll redo the kitchen, we'll redo the bathroom. I'm getting a jacuzzi. I deserve it. So I made the decision to retire. I'm going to focus on getting the house fixed up. And, you know, you wait too long to retire, you can't enjoy it. You know, I want to do some traveling. Yeah, I'll keep my e-scrapping. I'm going to keep my TikTok. I'm going to keep my YouTube. I'm going to keep hanging out with you guys because you're awesome. Sending my love. My grandma is a workaholic. Same with the garden. I am a workaholic. I don't think I've tried retiring twice. I couldn't do it. It's not in me. I mean, I come from a hard-working family, and I guess it just rubs off. So this is just from 2 of these already. It's probably about a half a pound of chunky ram. This is something I potentially would hold on to, but the price is awfully good right now. That's something, if I had the room and I had the space, I think I'd hang on to it, you know? So, all right. What else have we got in the box? What's in the box? I just didn't tell you on my videos that when I had new stuff to scrap, what's in the box? I should go back to doing that. That was fun. So, you're going to get some nice cast aluminum. Here, and here. If there is any metal, you've got to run it over, run the magnet over everything. Because, if you don't... thank you, Phil. I very much enjoy your videos as well. You guys are awesome, man. You guys make me feel so good about myself. Granny Scrapper. I'll never be a granny, only an auntie. I never got married, and I never had children. I used to travel. I love to travel. I traveled all over the world. I took pictures. I was a photographer, and I actually had quite a few that were submitted into contests, and I actually sold the rights to quite a few of them. I used to, but then things became digital, and anybody with an iPhone and a computer could now take awesome pictures. So I lost interest after that, and then I give my brother a hand raising the kids, which I love doing. All right, so when you do your aluminum, I don't know where it came from. Yesterday's video, out came aluminium. Where the hell did that come from? Maybe from watching E-Waste Ben. Or watching Polyprofit. Aluminum. Just slipped right out there. The reason I'm pulling these off, well, number one, if I'm going to sell it as clean aluminum, I want to make sure there's no metal. So you've got to take a magnet and just bump these real quick. Make sure there's no steel on this. As I told you earlier in the video, this is good to be me when I'm older. Going to be me when I'm older, yeah. The only time I feel my age is when my R8 kicks up. But in the summertime, no, I do well. I do all right. I keep busy. So, for your yard, back to scrapping. Jeez, babbling like a bloody idiot this morning. I'm sorry. You want to make sure there's no metal on here, steel. You got to run this over with a magnet. For those of you who caught the first part of the video, I was talking about why and how the yards can downgrade you. If there's any stick to this, it cannot go as clean aluminum. It has to go as irony aluminum. And they'll downgrade your whole load at the yard if they find metal on it. Don't forget, they get downgraded by the ton. So, back earlier in the video, I told you the story about my scrapyard having a whole load of baled copper rejected yesterday, which was part of my discussion about beer brake copper, blah, blah, blah. I know, seriously. I had family members that said aluminium. I don't know where they got it from, though. Well, my great-grandmother was from Ireland, and I believe my great-grandfather as well. His last name was Durgan, but we think it might have been Durkin, but they registered him as Durgan when he came over through Ellis Island. And actually, when I went to Ireland a few years ago, that was one of the things Mom and I were looking up to see what his given name actually was. And we found some stuff. I have a cousin who's working on the family genealogy, and I'll be interested to see what she comes up with through all of that. But everything's a Durgan on it. But I think because of his brogue, they couldn't understand him when he came over on Ellis Island, and they misspelled his last name because we can't find Durgan. We can find Durkin, but we can't find Durgan. So it's interesting. My cousin's got a bunch of that stuff put together. It'll be interesting to find out. My mom and I did a lot of visiting of her ancestors' areas when we went in. We've determined that my heritage is Colleen, dark Irish, from the Spanish Armada, establishing itself in Ireland. So that was fun. That we found pretty easily from that part of the family. So that was fun. But we still hadn't found all of her stuff. We have her grandmother's, and I think her great-grandmother's. My cousin has all that stuff, and she's finishing it all up now that Mom has passed. Anyway, okay, guys. Now this one, there's some gold, baby. See how this is pinned? This is a copper heatsink. It takes, if you can get a ceramic back with pins like this, yeah. So these are good for gold recovery. It's got pins. See? Turn that over there. You know what's really fun is watching all the comments go by, you guys, to each other on the channel. That's one thing I really, 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 really love about this. Because a lot of us we kind of run in the same circle. We watch each other's channels and so on and so forth. Anyway, boy, guys, that was a chat about everything but scrapping, huh? That's why I like lives, though. They're so much fun. Just sitting here watching me take stuff apart. And unfortunately, I've got a lot of the same stuff to take apart. Oh, wow, 2005 on this one, guys. 2005. We have got a winner chicken dinner. Wow. I wish I had more of these. I only got, I think I have 5. See, now that I know what's in it, I know what I can pay for it, and that's the other reason I do these kind of videos. This is a very good board. Here's IBM 2005. Wow. It's got an AMD board here. Be careful with this if you break the chip off, especially now with all the changes in the grading. You're going to get downgraded. Oh, I got that one off. I can't believe it. Sometimes a little bit of heat will help with that hair dryer or whatever. Wow, Joshua is fantastic, everybody. All right, let's get this board out of the tray so I can show you the back. Let me sure you get all the screws off. Some people keep these too. There's silver contacts under those. I don't. Now the sun has made a guest appearance. It looks like we're going to get a nice day out of this today. Awesome sauce. I got to make sure I get to church this morning. I didn't go last week. I couldn't. I couldn't. The house was such a mess from the flood and everything else. I don't even know if I got a live up last week, did I? Is it because they couldn't, Homie-Wan Kenobi, is it because they copied it wrong when your family came through Ellis Island? That's what we think happened with my great-grandfather. I know my dad's parents, when we did their genealogy, his mother's name was actually, my nonna, her given name was Louise. Or so we thought. And she went by Louisa. She always did, as long as I could remember. When my cousin got working on the genealogy, and we finally found a lot of the assorted family documents, we didn't have too many of them here. Most of them had gone to my older cousin, whose mother was the oldest of the 5 children. But we finally found that her name was Luigia, feminine of Louis. So when she came through, it was Luigia. That's why we couldn't find anything, because we were looking for Louisa. So genealogy is kind of a fun thing. But that was what happened with her, you know. Okay. This is probably going to be the last one I get done today, guys. I have a little bit of a sore throat. I'm not sick, but I got so wet yesterday. I need to go lay in the sun and get thawed out and dried out. I have no heat in it. Well, I have no furnace right now, and I have no hot water. And hopefully tomorrow they're going to come in and bypass the damaged area. And they had to shut my gas off because of where the flood water hit. Hit down in the basement, and they shut everything down. Hopefully it's dry enough that they can open it up again tomorrow. I didn't think I was going to need the heat again. Alright, let me just get this out of here. There we go. Ouch. So, under the old standard, this would have graded as what's called an AMD, dual socket motherboard. Usually it'll say, yeah, this one says AMD right on it up in the corner here. It's pinned. I'm going to flip this over. Pretty good gold recovery all the way through on this board. This should be a good value for my buyer. Under the new standards, I'm going to see if they'll give me high-grade telecom for this. They might not because of this, but all the grading has changed. By the way, guys, check. Hi, Custom Computer. How are you? All of the grading from Board Source has changed. So if you're going to ship boards out, you definitely want to check Board Source's new video. I would reckon to say that might be one of the topics of Shark Scrappers Live this afternoon. I think he goes on at I think Shark Scrapper goes on at 2, and then Scrapping Irish and E-Waste Make and a whole bunch of them have a forum at 3. And I would wager to say that the new board grading from Board Sort is going to be a topic that might be worth a watch. They always download their lives after anyway, so again, if you're going to ship out boards, you definitely want to check the new grading from Board Sort before you do so. That's why I said I'm going to ask for at least low grade telecom on this, if not high grade. Tons of gold here. See, this is what I've said all along. This board is good value for the buyer. They're going to get it. It's what's in the board, not what's on the board. Look at the gold. I mean, you got 1, 2, 3 gold banded BGAs, tons of flat packs, gold pins, and I won't depopulate this board at all. I don't do that. I took my battery off. Patrick, I remembered. I'm not sure if this is gold or copper flashing, but look at the value on that board. That's a great board. The AMD boards used to grade, they used to pay squat for them. Now with the new grading, it's much better. So you're going to get a little more bango for your bucko, which will take a little sting out of shipping. So, know your boards. Talk to your buyer. Do your homework. We're all going to have to. Again, for me, I'm trying to hold on to as many of the older boards as I can. I don't know if it's peaked up or not. Same thing with copper. I don't know. So, I'm going to watch the pricing, and I'm going to watch my bank account. Right now, I am going to have to sell. I don't want to, but I have to. I would love to hang on to more of this, but I got $20,000 worth of renovations to do to my kitchen. And wouldn't it be fun to sell $20,000 worth of e-scrap? All right, everybody. It looks like it's going to be a nice day out. I've got to go cut my lawn. What are you going to look into, Hobie? Whether it got changed going through Ellis Island? Yeah, you got to check the birth certificates and all that stuff. You know all that. But we were having a discussion. I don't even know how we got there from here. I think I was talking about, I don't know. I was talking about how my great-grandfather's name had been changed going through Ellis Island, and we couldn't find a lot of his lineage, and we didn't know if it was because they misspelled his name, because they couldn't understand it, and that was what happened to my grandmother. She was Louisa, but her born name was Luigia. So we finally found that, and we were able to find a lot more of the family history, which was cool. All right, so these I'm going to hang on to when I finish stripping all of these modules. Maybe later today, I'll put this lot up. I'm probably going to auction it off because of its age and its vintage. That will be in my eBay store soon. I'm not going to sell it as regular RAM because it's older vintage RAM. That is amazing for gold recovery. That's one of the cases where I'm going to sell it as a vintage item because it is better for gold recovery. Oh, what else? Yeah, very large group this morning, 4.9K. Yep. Well, this is actually my usual time to go live, is Sunday mornings. I don't scrap them, but Custom Computers asked, do I ever scrap graphics cards? You know what? Hang on a second. Let me see if I can grab something here. I'll show you real quick, because one of my other questions came through about gold fingers. I have red fingers. Haha. I sell my graphics cards for gold recovery. There was a question that kept earlier in the chat, and I forgot about it because we got chatting about everything, everything but scrapping this morning. That was fun, actually. So I got these out of the IBM modules that are sitting over there. This is an example of what we call a gold finger card. Graphics cards, video cards, wireless cards, anything that'll fit into a slot on the motherboard usually has PCI riser cards will have gold fingers like this. These are excellent for gold recovery. If you can't get, I mean, RAM is $34 a pound. These sell as e-waste for around $5.49 a pound. There's still a lot of good gold recovery. This is heavy. This is older. So I meant to answer that and I forgot. I sold Southern Scrapper quite a bit of RAM a couple of weeks ago. He's been doing a really cool series on gold recovery. Yes, hold on one more second. A lot of times gold finger cards will have heat sinks on them. In this case, they just happen to be copper because it's an old computer. I lost my train of thought. So gold finger cards, I clean them up. I'm going to put this in with my gold finger cards. But they're a lot cheaper to buy by the pound than RAM is, and there's still plenty of good gold recovery. Somebody asked that earlier in the chat and I forgot. And yes, custom computers, excellent point. So I'm going to sign off because I'm going to try to see if I can get the grass cut, and I'm getting hungry. So I'll finish this. This is already sold. I got a 5-pound bag going out, and I've got 2 more requests. So I'll do those outside later on. Let me take a moment and wish everybody a wonderful Sunday. I hope the weather is nice for you. Or, you know, my clothes still feel soggy from the soaking I got yesterday. God. And then I'm going to have to head over to the gym and do a guest membership so I can get a shower later because I have no hot water because of my flood. The water went up to the bottom of the hot water tank, so we shut the gas off to be precautionary. And, yeah. All right, everybody. Stay wonderful. Today was just random. I don't know. It was fun, though. We got talking about everything but scrap, which is probably good because you guys must be as sick of looking at these things as I am. All right. Be well. I usually do go live Sunday morning. I was early today. Sorry about that. But I just have a bunch of stuff to do. All right. I do have a video up, I think somewhere, about gold fingers and upgrading things for gold recovery. You want to get the brackets, you want to get the heat sinks off. In this case, I'm going to get bare bright copper, and then I'll clean this off. I'll sell it as a gold finger card, no heat sink, no bracket. Club cheers and can send it to celebrate. I have no idea how to do any of this. Club cheers. Fan club. Yeah. I wish I knew more about this stuff. Okay, guys. D-Scraps, E-Scraps. You can find me on YouTube. I will upload the video a little bit later today. And have a great day. I hope that was a great conversation about vintage gaming boards. And I guess it's relevant because I was... you know, we've been talking about older golder, and that's how we got into talking about gaming things and other things that were completely off topic. But it was fun. All right, guys. Have a wonderful day. God bless everybody. Thanks for hanging out with me. This was really fun. I don't know what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks because my kitchen is going to be completely destroyed and then restored. So we'll keep in touch. Be well. See you soon. Bye-bye. Older the golder, newer the fewer. Homie One Kenobi with the quote of the day. See you, buddy. Bye-bye. Bye, everybody. That was fun. Really fun live. Wasn't that fun? So much fun I can't get off. There we go.